Most people dream of buying rental properties, collecting steady monthly checks, covering all their bills, and finally living with real financial freedom. They picture waking up without worrying about the next paycheck because their properties are quietly working for them. But here is the truth most beginners never see coming. There is one single mistake that quietly turns that dream into a monthly financial drain where instead of the properties supporting your life, you end up supporting the properties every single month. Because rental properties are income engines you have to design and protect properly, in this video, I am going to walk you through the 5 fatal mistakes beginners make when trying to live off rental income, and exactly how seasoned investors avoid them so you can build reliable monthly profit instead of a costly headache. The first and most common fatal mistake is buying based on emotion instead of the numbers. Many new investors choose a property because it looks nice or sits in a good location, but smart investors treat every rental like a small business that must deliver a real monthly paycheck. Think of the property as a personal income engine you are starting. Every month, the tenants supply the fuel in the form of rent, then you cover all the ongoing costs to keep that engine running: the mortgage payment, property taxes, insurance, repairs, and management fees. And whatever money is left after those costs is your true monthly profit. Experienced investors calculate that exact profit long before they make an offer. If the numbers do not work, they walk away no matter how attractive the building appears. For example, consider a modest 8-unit apartment building. A beginner might see the updated kitchens and buy because the price seems fair. But when they run the actual numbers, the engine is actually losing $200 every month. That negative cash flow quietly drains their savings. The exact same building with slightly better rent collection and controlled costs could easily deliver $800 of positive monthly income. That single shift turns the property from a burden into true freedom. So the first rule is simple: always run the numbers first and treat the rental property like the serious income engine it needs to be. The second fatal mistake is choosing the wrong tenants. Your tenants are the fuel source that keeps the entire income engine running, so selecting the right ones is critical. A poor tenant choice almost always leads to late payments, damage, or sudden vacancies that force you to keep paying the mortgage with your own money. Experienced investors underwrite tenants the same careful way a good employer hires staff. They check credit, job stability, rental history, and references. When you choose strong tenants who stay long-term, those properties become almost automatic income producers. Look at a small apartment building example. One investor purchased a 12-unit complex where most tenants had steady jobs and good payment records. Everything ran smoothly for years. But when they accepted a tenant with shaky finances, that one choice led to repeated late payments and an eviction that cost thousands in lost rent. Another situation involved a duplex where the owner carefully screened both tenants. Both stayed for over 5 years with on-time payments. That consistency let the owner truly live off the rental income without constant worry. 95% of tenant problems actually begin the day you sign the lease with the wrong person. The third fatal mistake is mixing personal relationships with the business side of rentals. Many new landlords rent to friends or family thinking it will create goodwill, but when payments run late or repairs are needed, those personal ties make clear decisions much harder because emotion clouds judgment. Experienced investors keep everything strictly professional. They often work through a property manager, so tenants never even know who the actual owner is. This creates clean boundaries and makes it far easier to handle any issues according to the lease terms. Rental income is a business, and professional distance almost always protects both sides better. The fourth fatal mistake is underestimating ongoing maintenance and setting aside reserves. Many beginners assume that once the property is rented, the work is basically finished. But every income engine needs regular servicing. Roofs age, appliances wear out, and unexpected repairs can appear at the worst possible time. Smart investors always budget for regular maintenance and keep a separate reserve account. They typically set aside around 10% of the monthly rent specifically for future repairs and larger capital expenses. A real example is an investor who owned a 20-unit apartment building that looked great and had solid tenants, but after several years the main HVAC system needed replacement costing nearly $50,000. Because the owner had built up a proper reserve fund, he could handle the repair without touching personal savings. Good maintenance keeps quality tenants happy and staying longer, which means your income engine keeps running smoothly for years. The fifth and final fatal mistake is spending every dollar of positive cash flow on lifestyle instead of using it to grow the portfolio. Experienced investors treat that extra income as high-octane fuel for their next engine. Each additional rental property you add increases your total monthly income and spreads your risk. The investors who actually reach financial freedom follow one simple rule. They live off their regular salary and reinvest every dollar of rental profit into buying the next property. This creates a snowball effect where one reliable engine helps you build several more. That is the reinvestment rule successful investors follow. So now we have covered the 5 fatal mistakes that turn rental income into a nightmare instead of freedom. The worst mistake of all is failing to treat your rental properties like the professional income engines they truly are. Run the numbers carefully so each one produces real profit. Choose strong tenants who keep the engine fueled, keep all relationships strictly business, maintain the property properly with reserves, and most importantly, reinvest those profits so your portfolio keeps growing. At the beginning of this video, most people see rental properties as simple buildings that should pay the bills. Experienced investors see carefully managed income engines that can provide real financial freedom when you protect and grow them properly. If this video helped you understand how to avoid the biggest pitfalls in rental investing, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more practical lessons on building wealth through properties. In the comments, let me know which of these 5 mistakes surprised you the most, and check out the free rental profit checklist link in the description. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video where we break down how to find your first solid rental property even in today's market.